Hello, Buckeye Nation. In just about a week, our beloved Buckeyes take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the game that we have all been waiting for. If you're anything like me and have been counting down the days until kickoff, stay tuned. There is lots to get excited about, and it's finally time to get hyped. Welcome to Buckeye Football Fangirl. My name is Lisa, and I'm the gal behind Buckeye Football Fangirl. It is so good to be back. A huge thanks to all who tuned into my video last week and dropped me a comment below or on Twitter. I had so much fun reading and responding to each. You guys make this show worth doing. And I've missed you all, and I'm so stoked football is back. This week, I don't think I'm going to need to do much to get you all hyped because this is the game we've all been waiting for all summer long. The game that will tell us everything. Is our defense really better than they were last year? Do the Buckeyes have what it takes to win it all this year? What is the meaning of life? Okay, maybe not that last one. I am really nervous heading into this game because despite all of the chatter that we've heard about how amazing this defense is looking, the ballers that we have on offense, etc., it's still unproven. Both Maria and Jason tweeted a similar sentiment out with their tweets. This first one from Maria. Am I the only one who's a little nervous of the Ohio State versus ND game? I guess it's because the media and Ohio State fans seem very self-assured about a win. And this one from Jason. I'm starting to get nervous about the Notre Dame game. Little things keep happening and people have so much confidence. That is part of what scares me the most. Our Buckeyes are hearing from everyone that they should be the best or close to it. I always get nervous before the big, super hyped up games, and this game is no exception. I also feel like there's still so much unproven with the team this year. On the other hand, there are plenty of you who are feeling excited and confident when I read your tweets all over Twitter. Like this one from J Comp. Ohio State defense looking nasty is all I hear, and it's very, very hard to ignore it and not get overly excited. While the chatter about how good the defense is looking does get me excited, I only wish I felt as confident as Mike is feeling about things with his tweet. Last year, before the Oregon game, I'd been telling everyone I had a really bad feeling as far as our chances of winning are concerned. And sure enough, we lost. Same thing with the TTUN game. With that being said, I literally see Notre Dame as zero threat, respectfully. How are you all feeling this week? Are you more in line with Maria and Jason, where you're feeling the nerves because this team is still unproven? Or are you confident and excited like J Comp and Mike? Drop me a comment below about whether you're more excited or more nervous as we're heading into this game, as well as how you're planning to watch the game. I've already told you guys, but I'm nervous. However, I can't wait to watch the game with my 5-year-old son, who thinks it's completely normal to see his mama yell at the TV on a Saturday during the fall and tells everyone that his mom is the biggest Buckeye fan ever. So what are we gonna see from Notre Dame this Saturday? Let's take a look. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I am no football expert. I make these videos for fun on the side, and most of the information I get is because, well, I know how to use Google. As we all know, Marcus Freeman is no stranger to Ohio State football. You've probably heard this before, but he attended Ohio State and made his mark as a linebacker on the field. After a short stint in the NFL, he served as a grad assistant for Ohio State in 2010 before moving on to coach at Kent State, Purdue, Cincy, and now currently Notre Dame. Less than a year after arriving at Notre Dame, he was promoted to head coach, where he's now headed into his first season to show the college football world what he can do. One of Freeman's goals is to bring mental and physical toughness back to Notre Dame after they've stumbled somewhat in the nationally spotlighted games. He's provided a lot of bulletin board material with some low-key disses at Ohio State during the offseason and has riled quite a few fans up. Because of his unproven unproven track record, some people are sure that Notre Dame is going to be a cakewalk for Ohio State. Me, I'm not so sure. As I said earlier, I tend to get super nervous before the big games, and this is one of the ones I'm feeling really nervous about. Let's look at who we'll see on the field for Notre Dame. Sophomore Tyler Buchner was named the starting quarterback after a lengthy quarterback battle. As one of the backup quarterbacks last year, he saw action in 10 games as a true freshman. He's 21 of 35 for 298 yards with 3 interceptions, and his stats include 3 touchdowns in the air and 3 on the ground. While Buchner is looking to prove himself as the starting quarterback, he will be greatly helped out by dependable playmakers like Michael Mayer. As one of the top tight ends in the country, and some would say the top, Mayer is someone else to know on the team. His name recently became even more well-known after playing a key role in the Hangover parody, where Notre Dame revealed the white uniforms the team plans to wear for their Shamrock series. If you saw the video, he was the one who fell out of the car. Thanks to that role, he saw his estimated NIL valuation nearly double, which is not too shabby. Last year, he had the second highest receiving yards, reeling in passes for a total of 840 yards, and he racked up 7 touchdowns. He's been projected to be a first-round draft pick this coming year and will likely see a lot of targets during the upcoming game. Unfortunately for the Irish, they lost their top wide receiver, Avery Davis, due to an ACL injury. Thoughts and prayers to him. And so sophomore Lorenzo Styles is being thrust into the spotlight a bit earlier than anticipated. He was forced to step up due to injuries last year as well, and as a freshman tallied up 136 yards and a touchdown during the Fiesta Bowl. He'll be joined by veteran senior wide receiver Braden Lenzy, who totaled 350 receiving yards last season. Since the Fighting Irish will be hurting a bit at wide receiver, many expect them to lean even more into their run game. Chris Tyree and Audric Estime will likely be leading the charge as a 1-2 running back punch. Tyree is known for his speed and explosiveness, while Estime is more of a forceful back. The question up in the air for the Notre Dame offense will be if its running game can match up to our new and improved defense and muscle their way through, like certain teams did last year. Makes me nervous just thinking about it. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, Isaiah Foskey is a breakout defensive end who really hit his stride last year. He also reaped some of the same increased NIL valuation benefits as Mayer after playing a key role in the uniform drop video. He'll be someone to keep an eye on during the game, as last year he racked up 12.5 tackles for a loss and 11 sacks. Some have him also projected to be a first-round pick in this year's draft. He has the ability to disrupt offenses, and when paired with other weapons on their defensive line, will present a true test for our offensive line. Another defensive player to note is linebacker J.D. Bertrand, who led the team in tackles last year, racking up 102 tackles. The cornerbacks room is full of highly hyped young players mixed with veterans with an up and down track record. It's still unknown whether we will mostly see the veterans, Cam Hart and Clarence Lewis, or the true freshmen Jaden Mickey and Benjamin Morrison on the field on September 3rd. Whoever it is, they will surely have their work cut out for them as they match up against Zone 6. So what did I learn while looking into Notre Dame's playmakers? Well, we know Ohio State's offense will be able to stand on their own 2 legs, with the biggest threat likely being Notre Dame's defensive line disrupting our offensive line and throwing off the timing. We know Notre Dame seems to be limited on offensive weapons due to some unfortunate injuries and overall inexperienced starters in key positions. We know Notre Dame will likely lean heavily on their QB and running backs to pound the ball down the field. And though rumors say this looks like an entirely different D this year, we haven't seen proof yet that our defense will be able to play differently than they did last year and put a stop to it. I thought Jim's comment on last week's video put why I'm still feeling nervous in a nutshell. I feel like everything hangs on the defense. We all know that our offense is going to be potentially record-breaking, but we can't put everything on the offense's shoulders. The defense is really going to have to tighten up, especially against physical teams like ND, Wisconsin, and TTUN. This, friends, is why I am still extremely nervous. We've all heard the talk about how awesome the defense looks, but we have yet to see them on the field and in a real game situation. Now, I know I'm not the only nervous one, but at the same time, you confident ones probably think I'm crazy. Whichever way you lean, drop me a comment below and let me know. Are you nervous like I am? Or are you feeling confident heading into this Notre Dame game? Whichever way you're leaning, one thing is for certain. We will soon find out the answer to the burning question, is this team the real deal? One last thing. Twitter has been buzzing since Holly Rowe dropped her video after observing a Buckeye practice, talking about the embarrassment of riches and saying she thinks they're gonna win it all this year. While this was exciting and encouraging to hear, Coach White brings it back to reality with his tweet. Can't be preseason paper champs. Respectfully, this means everyone is going to want to prove otherwise. We will be their championship game. I have no doubt Notre Dame is going to hit us with everything they've got on September 3rd. Marcus Freeman and his crew seem just as hungry as our beloved Buckeyes, and yep, you guessed it, that makes me nervous. I do have faith in Coach Day, and I think our team does have that embarrassment of riches that Holly talked about. I only hope that they are locked in and come out swinging right out of the gate. Let me leave you with this closing thought, tweeted out by Brandon. At the end of the day, our Buckeyes have to take care of business on the field, and then the rest will follow. I feel the exact same way. Our beloved Buckeyes just need to take care of business, starting with this game against Notre Dame, and the rest will follow. All right, that's all I've got for you this week. I'll catch you after the game, and go Bucks. Oh,